Hello, good afternoon to everyone. This is my first time in my life that I'm taking class online. So let's see. I don't know how do I look like. Huh? Anyway, for you people today morning I went for a haircut also after 4 months. Huh? So I'll be starting with organic because I know you are already having online classes from your school and for physical and inorganic I think the classes are being taken, but organic so without face-to-face interaction is difficult for you to understand. And I also know from class 11 onwards only that you have developed this like for organic chemistry. It is very sad for me because as a student, I found that organic chemistry is the easiest thing to learn. Okay. Anyway, I shall be starting with the Hello Helping because the number of classes we have missed a lot, so I cannot go for a long class and we cannot discuss. So I will restrict my discussion within the syllabus. So we are going for hello alkane. Hello alkane and hello arene. Now hello alkanes, the decided to go for definition, you know it very well. If the halogen atoms are bonded to alkanes, we call them as hello alkanes. So I can write the general formula like RCH2X is called monohaloalkane because it contains only one halogen atom, or it can be more. Suppose it can be like this: CH2Br, CH2Br. Okay, it is 1,2-dibromoethane. Similarly, you can have more than that also. A compound which is very popular. You know the name of this compound. This is called trichloromethane, or commercially known as chloroform. You know the chloroform is being earlier was widely used as an anesthetic. These days we are not using it because of its toxic effect. And you also know that here all the hydrogen of the methane is being substituted with chlorine. This is chloride is a very important solvent, but these days the use of carbon tetrachloride is highly restricted because it's found to be carcinogenic. Okay, so let me go for the classification of haloalkane. Classification of haloalkane. See, haloalkanes are basically classified on the basis of the hybridization of the carbon which is containing the halogen atom. Okay, we know the carbon can show three types of hybridization: sp3, sp2, and sp. So on the basis of that, we are going to classify the haloalkane. So first one is sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized. So most of the haloalkanes which you are going to use in our discussion or which is there in our textbook, they belong to this one only. So let me write here. A is R C H2X. We call them as haloalkane or commonly known as alkyl halide. Alkyl halide. Okay. Second one is also haloalkane, but it shows some properties which is different from the normal haloalkane. So because of that, we classify them a bit differently. See here, you have a phenyl ring and you have a CH2. Yeah, see, this carbon is sp3, This carbon is also sp3. So this one shows a property a bit different from this. So we call them as benzyl halide. Benzyl. Please, you know my handwriting is very, very poor. So please excuse me. We call them as benzyl halide. So if it is chlorine, we call it benzyl chloride. If it is bromine, benzyl bromide, or if it is iodine, we call it benzyl iodide. See. See. In this case, see, this carbon and this carbon are sp2. But halogen is not bonded to this one. These two carbons are called vinyl carbon. Vinyl carbon. Please remember, vinyl carbon. And carbon next to the vinyl carbon is known as allyl. See, this is sp3. sp3 and this is known as allyl. Okay. Now, halogen atom is not with the sp2 carbon but is on the sp3 carbon. We call them as allyl halide. These three are there in your book. But somehow one more species is not given in your book. I do not know why. But this is also very important in organic chemistry, where you find you have a carbon-carbon triple bond. Okay? And halogen is attached to the next carbon, which is sp3. Okay? We call them as propargyl. Propargyl. So please remember this one. This is important for your entrance exam. So this is sp3 hybridized carbon. In your book they have given 3, but it is actually 4. They are haloalkane or alkyl halide. Second one is benzyl halide. Third one is allyl halide, and fourth one is propargyl halide. Okay. Now we will go for our second classification. It is sp2. You know, whenever a double bond exists between two carbon atoms, both the carbon are sp2 hybridized. So under this category, we can have two types of halo compound. See, this is aromatic ring. All the carbons are sp2 hybridized. When halogen is directly bonded to the aromatic ring, this belongs to sp2 hybridized compound, and we call them as haloarene. Haloarene is IUPAC, or if you go for the common name, we will call them as aryl halide. Okay. Second one is, as I told you, that whenever you double bond is there, both the carbon are sp2. So in that case, you will find this is sp2. This is also sp2, and here the halogen is bonded to the sp2 carbon. And I told just now, I told you these two carbons are called vinyl carbon. Okay. So these are called vinyl halide. Vinyl halide. One of this, a very famous example of this one is this. It's called vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is huge amount of vinyl chloride is being used for the polymerization purpose, and it gives us a compound known as polyvinyl chloride, or in short form we call it PVC. PVC is being used for making water pipes. You have seen the black water pipe. Even the sole of your shoe, shoes are also made by PVC. PVC plastics are very commercially important polymer. Clear? Now, in your book, they have not given the third classification where halogen can also be bonded to an sp carbon. So we go for the third one, sp hybridized. Okay, so please remember this one. This type of compounds are also there. These are called alkynyl halides. LKYNYL. Alkynyl. So these are the classification. Yes. One more. Second way of classification. The second way of classification is where you find we are going to classify the haloalkane on the basis of the number of the hydrogen attached to this carbon. The carbon which contains halogen atom is called alpha carbon. So classification based on number of hydrogen on alpha carbon. Clear? So now in that case, if the alpha carbon contains 2 hydrogen and 1 halogen, we call them as primary. Primary, or this also being written like this. Hello, alkane. These are very important for us to understand the mechanism of the different haloalkane. If it contains 1 hydrogen and I did not write anything, these are nothing but the substitution. Okay, you can write here R. You can write here R. Okay, these are called secondary or halo. And if it does not contain, this is A, this is B, and if it does not contain any hydrogen, we call them as tertiary. Hello? This thing, I think haloalkane chapter is already taken in your school. So in that case, there is nothing more to understand. Clear? Now, nomenclature I will not do. Nomenclature we have done thoroughly in class 11. Okay? So in that case, it will be clear wastage of time to discuss the nomenclature. But if you have any doubt, you can directly contact me. All of you know my phone number. You can directly contact me through WhatsApp. But whenever you say on WhatsApp, if your name is not there, then I will not give any answer. Now, what are the different types of isomerism haloalkane can show? Okay, so isomerism you already know that isomerism out of 2 types. One is called the structural isomerism, and second one we call it the stereoisomerism. Then structural isomerism again can be classified into several categories. We can you know it very well. So there can be nuclear or chain isomers. There can be positional isomers. There can be functional isomers. Then you can have metamers. Okay. Then one more isomer which is somehow missing from your book. So I already taught you. This is called ring chain isomers. All right. So these are the different isomers. And stereoisomers are again classified into 2 categories. They are the optical isomers and the geometrical isomers. Now, geometrical isomers you can have again classified into 2 categories. We call it cis isomer or Z isomer, and you can have trans isomer, or we call it E isomer. And optical isomers again you can have in the form of the dextroisomer, which rotates the light towards right, and you can have levoisomer, which rotates the light towards left. Okay. So now we are here. I am going to mention about the structural isomers. So it can show you structural isomers. It can show you structural isomers in the form of nuclear or chain isomer. Okay. This example that you know here very well. Suppose it is CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. This is 1-chlorobutane. Now, see, this can be like this. So these are the example of nuclear or chain isomer. This is what? What is the name of this one? 1-chloro-2-methyl propane. Then it can show you positional isomer. Positional isomer. Okay. Now, positional isomer will be what? Let me write the again this first one. CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl, 1-chlorobutane. This will be CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, B. So this is called 2-chlorobutane. Please remember there that haloalkanes does not show functional isomers because you cannot write any other functional group with the chlorine. It also does not show us the metamers because we have considered them as a substitution. Does not show. Now, if I go for the stereoisomer, now in that case it can show you geometrical isomer. It can show you geometrical isomer. Take the example of this. We are going to call it as cis 1-2. Sorry, cis. Okay, I don't know the name of this one. It will be cis. ECH. Sorry. Cis 1,2 dichloroethane and it is only you have to write trans. The name is same. Trans 1,2 dichloroethane. Please remember for your entrance exam, dipole moment of this one is 0. Dipole moment of this compound is 0.0 divided by this molecule is highly polar. Why? Why dipole moment is 0? Because you find the bond moment of this and bond moment of this, they cancel each other and makes this one 0. And in this case, you find in this case both the bond moment are in the same direction. So the resultant bond moment will be this. So this compound will be highly polar. Please remember, in that case, this molecule will have higher boiling point than this, because we know polar molecule has higher intermolecular forces of attraction, and if the higher intermolecular forces of attraction is there, in that case, that will have bigger boiling point. Okay, now we come for the preparation. See, Some of you I did not meet in class 11. I told you to study the preparation of a substance. In that case, we find it very difficult for us to remember. Why? Because we do not know what we are going to take to prepare some substance. But in our day-to-day life, suppose you go to kitchen to make something, maybe I don't know, in a lockdown period, some of you may be kind enough to help your mother, or maybe that you want to try some new dish. In that case, first you decide what you want to cook. On the basis of that, you collect the different substances and you start preparing the food for it, like that. So similarly also, we are going to do the same thing. See, anything we do in our life, we know what we want to achieve. Whether you achieve or not is different. Our methods may not be correct, maybe because of there are some failures. But mind it, all of us, we know what we are going to do. So it may be a matter of your study, it may be a matter of your food, or if you want to go anywhere, yeah, you know what you want to do. Excuse me. Hello, Samrat. Go. Moses Miller. না দিলা ডাইরেক্ট দিলা আমার ছোট বোনের কলিগ তো আমার জ্বালাই লাগবে হ্যাঁ দিলা আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ আমি ফোন করে একটু করে হ্যাঁ তো লিস্টটি কবে দিবে ঠিক আছে তুই এটা কিছু ব্যবস্থা করে বলার নেই কারণ তাই অন্যান্য একজন গেছে না দিকে আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে excuse me. So never study preparation blindly. One thing, being a science student, you please make it a point. Science is not a matter to by heart. Okay? You can put your heart anywhere. You can put your heart in living and non-living object, I don't mind. But don't put it in your chemistry. Try to be little intelligent enough, you find chemistry is very easy, especially the organic chemistry. Say, I want to prepare RCH2F. I want to prepare this one. It is a food matter. And you want to prepare it for that, you obviously, whenever you prepare some food, veg or non-veg, you have to go to market to buy the substance. Okay? So whatever the substance that you bring, whatever you get from the market, you directly do not come and put it in our pressure cooker or the frying pan. We do some modification. We remove something and we add something. Okay? So vegetable when you bring, you peel it. Fruits, whatever you bring, you peel it. Then after that only use it. So now, I want to, similar type of substance I want to get from the market. What I'll do now? I'll write here RCH2. Same thing. But I know these type of compounds are not there because it is a part of the molecule. But we have to get a full molecule. RCH2 is an alkyl group. So I have to get a full molecule. So there should be something here. So let us put here one more H. If I put one more H, Then what will be the formula? The formula will be RCH3. It is an alkane. So let me write it. I'll write it RCH and H. Clear? Then I am to get this one. How to get it? Obviously, I have to remove hydrogen. But I know the valency of carbon is 4. So if I remove hydrogen, so in that case, if I remove it, now it is 3. So I have to add something. What should I add? I have to put one X. X is halogen. Dear, halogen never exists in the atomic state. Halogen always exists in the form of molecule. That is, you have to get this one. From this one, I have to put one X here. Then what should I do with this X? Okay? In that case, this bond has to be broken. Once this bond is broken, then it becomes halogen atom. Again, we know halogen atom is not stable. So what is going to happen? This H is going to combine with this X. And this X will take this position. So what type of reaction it is? It is a substitution reaction. Now let me write it. Okay. For simplicity, I'll write like this. And what I will do now? I'll do it like this. See, this H and X will go out and this X will take its position. See, use little bit of your common sense. Okay? In that case, if you read 15 minutes of organic chemistry daily, nobody can stop you to get full marks in organic chemistry. Please remember, out of 70 marks in your class 12 exam paper, 28 marks come from organic chemistry. You will get 28 out of 20. Okay, let's think from biomolecules or chemistry, everyday life, and we remove this day. So, in that case, chances of losing marks is very, very less. Now, there should be a name of this reaction. What should be the name? What is our starting material? Alkane. What did you take along with alkane? You have taken halogen. So what should be the name of the process? Name of the process is called halogenation of alkane. So we'll write here halogenation of alkane. Now, how to break this bond, X and X bond? Obviously, you will not start a chemical reaction with a scissor or a knife. Okay, and you also will not, with the help of scissors, you will cut it, and you also cut this bond, and you glue them together. It's not possible. Okay, so what should I do? Please remember, alkane, you have read already in class 11. Alkane is non-polar. Their bonds are very strong. Halogen is also a non-polar molecule. Their bonds are also very strong. So in that case, you have to go for a very rigorous method. So how do you carry out rigorous method? You can carry out by carrying out this reaction at very high temperature, beyond 600 Kelvin. Sometimes we have to cross even 700 Kelvin. All right? Or you can use another method. We call it you can carry out in the form of light. That is called photochemical reaction. So let me write the condition here. In photochemical condition, what you will do? We require ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet light has smaller wavelength. And we already know from class 11 that energy of light is inversely, or any radio frequency is inversely proportional to the wavelength. Okay? So ultraviolet light has smaller wavelength than the visible light. In that case, we can carry out this reaction in presence of ultraviolet light. Yeah. So we'll write now here. Say 650 Kelvin, and or you can write here UV light. All right. And if you are a little more stylish, you can write here or H nu. You know, nu is what? The frequency of radiation. So, whatever ways, maybe in your school they may not use H nu. So, you will not write it. You can write 650 Kelvin or this. But now, see, this reaction can be carried out. But mind you, dear, in class 11, you have seen that if you go for the chlorination of methane, it gives us a mixture of 4 products: CH3Cl, CH2Cl2, CHCl3, and CCl4. So we will not go for any complicated. We will go for this one. Yes, if you wish, you can control it, because I want that to be less halogen. So what I'll do? My volume of this alkane will be higher than that of the volume of the halogen that I can take. Okay? So now, in that case, I'll go for individual molecules. Say you have taken here methane and you have done the chlorination conditions, you know, the beyond 650 Kelvin or UV, you can get here CH3, Cl and HCl. I will not have the other reaction. Okay? Because it is not the property of methane, it is the preparation of the chloromethane. Clear? So we are not going to complicate. Clear? Now, similarly, you can also do the bromination. Chlorination and bromination conditions are same, okay? But only thing is that we know that chlorine is more reactive than the bromine. Why the chlorine is more reactive than the bromine? Simply because chlorine is more electronegative. Yes? Now, so you can get here CH3, Br, and now, when you go for iodination, dear, the thing is a bit different from the chlorination and bromination. When I carry out the iodination, iodine molecules are very sluggish. They are very sluggish in their reactivity. The reactivity is less. Okay. So in that case, you have to heat it beyond 700 Kelvin. UV light is not required. So what you are going to get? You will get here CH3I plus HI. CH3I plus HI. Yes. Now, problem is that hydrogen iodide. See here. Iodine is a very large atom. And this is hydrogen. Look. Hydrogen iodide bond is very, very long. And such high temperature is there. So in that case, hydrogen iodide bond breaks. So when hydrogen iodide bond breaks, what you will get? Hydrogen iodide bond will break to give you the 2 hydrogen atoms. And immediately is going to form iodine molecule. So this hydrogen iodide, this hydrogen, we call it atomic hydrogen or nascent hydrogen, immediately reduces this reaction. So what happens? The reaction is reversible. In class 11 also, either I told you or some of your teachers might have told you. Remember, there is a difference between these 2 reactions. These 2 reactions are irreversible. Wherever this reaction is reversible. In that case, how to stop this backward reaction? Okay? Who is creating the problem? This hydrogen. So how to stop? See, if suppose you are carrying out some work, you find that some person is coming and disturbing you. So what will do? Obviously, you are going to chase him away from that place. Okay? So here also, you have to chase out the hydrogen from there. How to remove the hydrogen? Obviously, hydrogen can be removed by using an oxidizing agent. Yes? So, the same reaction I can carry out by taking an oxidizing agent. What are the oxidizing agents you can take? Here you can take here HiO3. It's an iodic acid. Or you can use here mercuric oxide, or you can use here HNO3. So in that case you will find this reagent is immediately going to oxidize the hydrogen liberated. So let me write it here. You will find here 5HI plus HiO3 will oxidize hydrogen iodide to give you iodine molecule, and you will get here 3H2O. Again, this iodide will be used in the chemical reaction. Okay, so this is one method. What is the method? We have prepared this from the field. What is the name of that method? Name of the method is called halogenation of alkane. Yes. Now, second method that also we have done in class 11 is from alkene. Second method is from alkene. How will you do it? Yes, we can do. It's a very famous reaction. It's the addition of hydrogen halide to alkane. Addition of hydrogen halide to alkane. That is, if I have taken a simple alkane like ethane, and if I have taken HX, we know it will immediately react to give us what? It will add to give you this. Yeah. Now, this is a symmetrical alkane. Simple or symmetrical alkane. Now, suppose I have taken this. Say, I have taken an unsymmetrical alkane. Now, this reaction is very famous. You know, in this case, X will come here. We call it Markovnikov addition rule. So, what you are going to get? You get here now CH3, CH, X, CH, H, and H. Yes. So let me take a specific example for that one. Say it is, I'm going to add here. So it will be CH3CH Br. How does it follow? This addition is what? This addition is Markovnikov addition. This is a Markovnikov addition. Okay? Now, we also know that if I have carried out this reaction in presence of peroxide, then what is going to happen? In that case, the bromine will not come to the more substituted carbon, it will go to the less substituted carbon. Okay? So in that case, what you are going to get here? You get here CH3, CH2, CH2. Okay? Here you get 2 bromopropane, and here you get 1 bromopropane. How does it follow? It follows anti-Markovnikov addition. So this is a way we can prepare haloalkane. Okay, so this is one method of preparation from haloalkane. Now, second method is what? I can directly add their halogen. Okay, but if I add halogen there directly, in that case, I will not get monohaloalkane, but I will get dihaloalkane. Okay, that you know, very famous reaction. Okay, suppose I have taken here bromine. So what I will get here? I will get here 1,2 dibromoalkane. Okay, here I have a little small tip is there for you. These are those who are interested to appear entrance exam. for them. And those who do not want to have a very peaceful life without entrance exam, okay? So for them, you don't have to bother. Please remember, bromine is a large atom. Whenever you add bromine to alkene, both the alkene never come from the same side. Okay? So it is, you will get here trans. This is called trans 1,2 dibromo ethane. So addition of bromine to any double bond is always trans. But suppose I have added chlorine. Chlorine is a small atom, smaller than that of bromine. So in that case, it will give you a mixture of trans and it will give you cis. So you get this. So this is extra information. This is trans and this is cis. Is only for your entrance exam. So those who do not want, forget. So we have prepared from alkene. Clear? Now, so what I told you, what we are to prepare? RCH2S. So I'm not going from, you always have a habit of reading from left to right, okay? I do not go. I go from right to left, okay? You may think the sir is very funny. I don't mind because I also have been studying like you only, okay? In our days, whatever teachers used to tell us, we used to follow 100%. Well, later on I found that why it has become very difficult for me to remember, because if you do not understand the thing, then you have to buy heart. Yes. So in such case, I thought I'm finding difficulty because I don't know what molecule I should take, then what should I react. I thought, let me try to read from right to left. The moment I started reading from right to left, I found that there is nothing great in remembering the organic chemistry, because I know what I should, what I want, and what is the method of getting it. You know that if you want to get something, if it is very easy, you can do it. And if it is difficult, then you have to pursue your mother, then you have to pursue your father, and both of them fail. Then you go to grandmother and grandfather. You know, you are very, very clever. In our time, you are not that clever. If it is being told no from father or mother, we have to keep quiet. So now you know the technique of getting things, okay? So I have found I got this compound by replacement of hydrogen from alkane. Okay? So, but alkanes is not the only thing. I can get so many other compounds are there. So what did I think? Yes, I can also prepare it from OH. It is if I replace OH by this, then I get it. But here the OH will not go out in the OH. Why? Because OH is not a neutral molecule. It is a radical, it is an anion. So there should be something. There should be something to combine with OH, then it will go. All right? That is, I can remove OH in the form of water. That is, along with the X, H also should be there. So let me write here H. I'll write here H. So now I'll remove this arrow. And I'm only going to exchange it. Exchange and I get the compound. Okay. Now the thing is so simple. Now what is the name of this one? We know any compound which contains hydroxyl group, this much you know, we call it alcohol. So it's alcohol. And what is this HX? HX is a hydride of halogen. The hydrate of halogen is called hydrogen halide. Okay? Hydrogen halide. Is a hydrogen halide. Okay? So what should be the name of the procedure? Name of the procedure should contain both of them. So I'll call it, third method will be hydrohalogenation of alcohol. Hydrohalogenation of alcohol. But I know what is the nature of hydrogen halide? Nature of hydrogen halides are nothing but they're acid. Is it not? Huh? So I'll write here now. Reaction of alcohol with hydrogen halide. Yes. So this is my process. So what I'll do, I'll write it now. I'll write R CHO OH and H. I'll write here R CHO F plus H2O. See, in nature, always a stronger thing replaces a weaker thing. Okay? So, in that case, what is going out? OH minus. This is going out. What is coming in? X minus. Okay? Please remember, hydroxide or OH minus is a stronger nucleophile than X minus. So in that case, how to remove? How the weaker substance can replace the stronger substance? Okay? But see, in our childhood, we have already come across stories which are being always told, never neglect a never neglect a weaker substance, weaker object. They also can become mightier. Okay? So in that case, mechanism of this reaction I'll do in my next class. Thank you. Next,